Welcome to Pat's Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
This is our episode for November 4th, 2018.
Lecition will take the try against Keeler. It's a winger win from Henry. Cuts to the slot, shoots, save, rebound, scores! Jake Lecition's got his seventh, and the Pats are on the board. For Gavos, into his right corner, Greta, ahead for Austin Pratt. Saucer ahead for Henry, knocked it in the mid-air, gains the blue line, drives it in, shoots and scores! Oh, what a goal, Nick Henry! And we're tied 1-1. That was a thing of beauty. 1-on-2 across the blade line, got Henry with him for the left circle, shoots up high, Nolan Meyer stops it, big rebound loose in front of his pad, backhand shot, scores! Austin Pratt! And the Pats go up 3-1.
Okay, just a couple games to look at this week. Let's start off with Edmonton rolling into town. I'd rather just skip to the next game, but we got to go through this game. Boy, that was a boring game to be at.
Yeah,
very uninspiring.
Yeah, the first period it was back and forth, but it was like not good back and forth. It was just like, oh, turnover, go the other way. Turnover, go the other way. There was no sustained ozone pressure or anything. No scoring chances. Like it was just boring, especially that first period. You know,
it's not. Yeah, even the shot total. Edmonton had 7 in the first period, and we had 4. Like both teams were flat and boring, and it wasn't. The whole game was a snooze fest, in my opinion. We still gave up 5 goals.
Yeah,
in the end. The penalty problem wasn't outrageous. I mean, our standard 6.
Yeah. Standard.
I mean...
Yeah, we just can't seem to stay out of the box for whatever reason. And it's not any one or two players, it's everybody. Like, there's 15 players with double-digit penalty minutes.
That's what we were sitting there, and I asked you, like, how do you coach a team not to take penalties? And it's not like the fact that it's this one guy you can bench or one or two guys or they're chippy penalties. They're just consistent.
Just bad penalties. Like, just tripping and just especially in the offensive zone, like we've seen in the Saskatoon game. Like, those are terrible penalties to take.
Yeah.
Like, but and then it's in the back of our net when we take a penalty.
It feels like it. It's like, I mean, that game was 2 for 6, so not as bad, but we're kind of getting used to
giving up at least a 2.
Yeah.
Every night.
It's just, was there any real good, anything you want to talk about in this game?
Not really. I don't know. Like, Pierce had a couple good scoring chances. You know, the third line, they've been doing okay. Nyhoff coming off a concussion.
Yes. Okay.
He looked good out there. He was throwing his body around. Like, a guy coming back from injury, you don't expect that. You maybe think, oh, he'll take it easy, kind of shy away from that kind of stuff. But man, he's throwing hits left, right, and center out there.
You're right. I forgot about that, actually. He was player of the game. I mean, for what you can take from that game, he was coming back from a concussion. He was out there playing. I've never even seen him play like that, let alone coming off injury.
Exactly, yeah. Like, he threw some big hits.
And I didn't know he had that in him. But it was great. That line actually looked not bad. What was it? Him, Pierce, and Crean? I forget what it was exactly. It was a good grinder line, though, regardless. It was nice to break the shutout. We didn't get shutouts. So that was good, at least.
Lecition and Henry doing it again.
Yeah.
Getting a goal, so.
Kind of the elephant in the room that seems to be lingering a little bit is Paddock's play.
Yeah, see, we were talking about it last week. He was getting beat high quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then this game, he got beat low a couple times.
Like, so I don't know. He's just, something's a little off right now.
Yeah. I mean, I know the one went off a skate and stuff, but I know he probably could have had a couple of those.
We got to see Trey Fix-Wolansky put up 4 points on us.
Yeah, he looked good out there. That power play runs right through him. Like, he's the main guy there.
And it's neat to watch him because he's not. They were all assists, weren't they?
Yeah.
So he's not the kind of guy like a Steele, or if you remember Matt Barzell when he was here, just totally, like, he was so obviously good. But it's not until you start looking at the stat sheet. He's like, he is
Yeah, he
distributes the puck so well. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's not like Barzal or Steele where they carry it around, draw everybody's attention and pass it off for a guy for a tap in. Like, he's a little bit different. He's making good passes as well, right? But they had a really good looking power play. But mind you, everybody's power play looks good against us. So
get some practice, get some goals.
Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's good.
Yeah, I don't know. No, he looked good out there and 4 points. Yeah, just that kind of quiet ho hum 4 point kind of night, Like,
and 4 points the night before, and then how many on
Moose ended up
Swift
winning
Current
that game?
Swift Current.
Or Swift Current. Yeah, sorry, they were in Swift Current. And Swift Current won that game.
Right. Yeah. So
in overtime.
We wore them down. You're welcome.
Yeah.
They got tired.
Yeah.
Skating around us so much. Anything else from that game?
I don't think much. Like it was a pretty blah game.
It was. I never really was into it.
No,
it was just we were kind of sitting there, and it was just okay.
I don't know. I think if we could have got a goal in that 5-on-3, we would have had would have kept us in the game. But that was an ugly 5-on-3, and then they scored right after on that one from behind the icing line. That was real weak. So,
but. Next night, Saskatoon. So Saskatoon, we were talking about last week. They were on their 3-3 against us.
And I kind of hummed and hawed. I was kind of on the fence. I'm like, can we win this game or not? And I was just like, I don't think so.
Well, I'm a bit of a homer, obviously, so I at least wanted to take a split. And I mean, the game started. Took a penalty, a minute in, and then they score. It's just like, great. Here we go. Yeah. Same song and dance, broken record. Early penalty, power play goal against.
Yeah, it was right at the end of the power play. I thought, we were almost out of it.
Yeah.
Come on. No.
So this was probably the most fun I've had at a game this year.
Yeah,
it was a ton of fun.
It was a good game.
The crowd was if it was the Ringette team or whoever was there was screaming their faces.
Yeah, the girls were screaming.
Yeah, so they were loud and it's kind of fun. Added to I say they should put the crowd meter on.
Meter,
every break. Just let them go.
Yeah,
they seem to love it. So it was a fun game. We were down. I mean, it showed character too. We were down by 1 goal twice, right?
Well, after we were up a goal, we were up 2 goals twice. Okay, we were down a goal first.
Yeah,
and then we scored 2.
Yeah,
because we got the early one in the second period.
Yeah.
And then they scored.
Right.
And then the Sishin came back, scored again. So we're up 2 goals again.
We were up 2. And then it was like the middle of the second. I said, I like this, but I'm not confident in this yet.
Yeah.
And then, lo and behold.
3 in a row.
Yeah. And then we're down 2. And it's just like, frick. And then.
Oh, we're only down 1.
Right. Yeah.
So we were only down 1. And
yeah.
then we tied up. And then we get the late one.
And that last goal from Henry was fucking howitzer.
Yeah, that was a great. She put everything into that one too.
That was every bit of energy he had.
And you even made the comment. You're like, that was kind of like a weird line combo because it was the second power play unit, but he stayed out there.
Yeah, there's Dubinsky and Moholic, or I forget who was out there. Yeah, it was weird, and he was still out there when they were going through the high five on the bench. I saw Lasician on the bench, and it kind of caught my eye.
Yeah, I didn't notice why he stayed out. If he was like the far guy and he was, I can't remember exactly what happened, why he stayed out, but he just stayed out and that worked out well. So, that's what loudest it's been there all year, I think, on that goal, like in the building.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was probably the biggest goal we've scored all year.
True. We've only had 2 wins. So.
Yeah, at home. So that was a good one. And all the ones against Swift, it eventually was kind of just a...
Yeah. So,
no, and then it was weird.
Go ahead.
Odd game too. 2 goalie changes. Both teams pulled their starter.
Yeah, and both backups ended up getting the decision. We came back to win to give McNabb the win. And,
okay.
And he got the loss.
Okay.
The backup.
Yeah. So that was interesting
because they were leading it when he was in. So
yeah, and again. Max Paddock's did not look sharp that game either, and I don't know. McNabb isn't. I don't think he's a better goalie, but
no.
Sometimes it's just that change the team needs a little shake up or whatever it is, make that difference. And
like he made all the saves. There's one off the post, but
right,
it didn't go in. So
no,
he had the angle just perfect, right?
Yeah, he knew it. He knew exactly his surroundings. So.
Yeah. So no, he made all the saves, and I think we looked good. We looked good 5-on-5 in that game. Like we scored 4 of the goals 5-on-5.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and like their top line was a -3, despite all their power play success. Their top line was -3, and our top line was +3. So we got it done 5-on-5. That's was the difference, right? If we just cut down on these power play goals against.
Again, yeah, three power play goals against.
Yeah,
right. Like
so out of 5, right? So
that's rough. That's rough to take.
And another thing from that game, the face-offs. We dominated the face-off circle that game.
Yeah,
51 wins, 17 losses.
Yeah,
like that's unreal. The Sishin was 23 for 24. Like he was up against Doc all night and just owned him.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that was good. Another bright spot here was the return of Brady Puto.
Yeah.
Not that he's going to be like he's not going to win and lose games, but his presence was felt out there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Between his physicality and even if you weren't paying total attention and you just saw this shot go from the blue line, like, who was that? Like, I think
he's got a hard shot.
Yeah, by far. Noticeably harder, and that's something that's been missing all year thus far.
Yeah.
Was that shot from the blue line.
Definitely.
And it was noticeable that it was there. So awesome to have him back.
And another guy not shying away from coming back from injury. Like, he was going after their best player, and he hit him a few times.
Doc.
he took a penalty at the end there, but I mean, like, he lit him up a couple times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So.
And, that penalty I only think was because Doc, he seemed to be leaning back. And that's why Brady kind of leaned a bit with his elbow in.
Yeah.
It was kind of just a momentum thing.
His helmet kind of flew back because it didn't hit him in the face or anything.
No.
But his helmet flew back, and that kind of looked bad. And it was the back goal, or the back ref that called the penalty. So, whatever. It is what it is. But we killed it off. So.
And the guys, they're still pumped up. Like, I still see a lot of fight in this team when they want to win, and when they won, they were pumped. Like, when they do their raise the sticks after, they're still playing for some, right? Like,
definitely,
whether it's for each other or the team, I don't know, but it was still a lot of fun,
go out there
right?
And win, right?
Yeah,
nobody likes losing, right?
No, so they're not rolling over, they're playing hard, and that was a fun game. It was just all around an enjoyable hockey game to be at. So at one point we said, I think we were even losing. I said, or it was tied. I don't know, but it was just a fun game. Like,
yeah.
The outcome was good, and that makes it even better, but it was entertaining.
It was just an entertaining game.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what you go there for. Entertainment, right?
Yeah.
So you got to shout out to Henry for that first goal too.
Oh,
like, not only the slap shot, then he goes in, knocks the puck down without a high stick, and then
he
goes in
caught
and
it and fed it to himself out ahead,
right in stride. Like, he didn't lose a step, and he got right by the D-man and just sniped.
D-man was like he was standing still, went right by him, and then the shot.
Yeah, that was nice,
really good. So both him and Lasician both looked really good in that game. Yeah, one of the things that I noticed too is we were starting to get the bounces a little bit, like those, and in front of the net, the garbage goal, working hard.
Yeah, like
a lot of them, like a few of our goals
Crane
were just
or Pierce or whoever got credit for that one, just jamming at the net, and they put one in. Like, that's a huge goal
hard
right at the end of the second period to take a lead. You know, and you always need those like late ones, just garbage goals, right? You can't rely on your top line to snipe goals all night long, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and then speaking of that line, Scholler was out on that line in that play.
I know. Like, when they released that lineup, I was like, what? Scholler on third of all that, the third line. Why not the fourth?
Yeah, like, I don't know. It was kind of weird. But I even mentioned it when we were like, oh, Puto back. I'm like, oh, maybe he's going to be playing forward. We're going to need it forward, I think.
Yeah.
Scholler got the nod.
Yeah. Lo and behold, they're putting defensemen up.
But he played defense on the penalty kill as well.
Yeah.
So, like, he was all over the place.
And he didn't look
bad.
Totally out of place there.
No, he's up there forechecking. I'm like, oh, yeah, right. He's left wing. Defense.
Yeah.
So, I thought he had a good game. Like, he's not the fanciest player out there.
No.
He's just a hard-working D-man, and got to give him a shout-out for that, too.
Yeah, that was...
And
it was interesting.
Kind of got to give Hyman a shout out too. 3 assists again, 3 against Swift Current. I forgot to mention that. I was going to, but it slipped my mind. But yeah, whatever. He's putting up some points. But
yeah, it's easy to pick on someone. So
yeah, you got to give him his due when he has a good game.
Fair enough. Yeah, we do.
So then after the game, there was the signings. So I stood in line and I was like, I talked to Mahovlich for a little bit, and I was like, oh, tough one on the shootout, and he's like, yeah, I shouldn't have listened to the boys. I should have just did my own thing. So I kind of give them the guys a hard time.
I know I would rather have just taken the penalty than get a shootout there.
That's a good point.
Because that was a short-handed breakaway.
So if we would have accepted the penalty, we could have just taken the 2 minutes 4-on-4.
Yeah.
Right? So.
But it's not an option, right?
No, it isn't.
No. Okay.
It's not it's not football where you decline the penalty.
Or you get to choose,
Yeah, no.
Okay, it has to be.
But I know, because, say, okay, we don't score, and then they still have the power play.
Exactly.
There's no benefit to us, right?
This isn't that good.
Because we're going to give a power play goal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's the problem. I totally see where you're coming. That's.
Yeah. Oh, well. Good game all around. That was fun. And now, just 2 in the weekend is nice, and then we have a week off. Gets more practice in.
Yeah. Then after the 2 this coming weekend, that's a big road trip.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So wrapping that up, a bit of roster news we want to talk about. Jonas Harkins left the team. Not too sure about the...
left, released, I don't know. With Puto coming back, we had a excess of D-men, so...
They might have had a discussion with him and said, you're going to be the bubble player, you'll play once in a while, and maybe it just wasn't what he wanted right now. So,
I don't know. They have some, maybe they like Zonneveld and guys like that a little more than him. So, the odd man out, kind of like Platt. The extra 20, right?
Yeah.
I glanced at his stats the other day. He's doing all right in Estevan. He's got a bunch of goals already.
Oh, yeah.
So he's a point of game player with them. So good for him.
Good. Yeah, no, that is good. So, I mean, it's sad to see guys go, but it's the business, so to speak.
Yeah, for sure.
So Nyhoff returned from injury, which we spoke about. More so, update on him. He's out with concussion, which
so who knows?
is always, if you have a history, it could be a while.
Exactly.
Could be a while. Who knows what we're going to do for another...
Well, they'll probably keep it status quo. If Holmes gets back soon, who knows what his is. Since we're recording on Sunday night here, we won't know the status until Tuesday when the weekly report comes out. So we'll update. We'll tweet it out on Tuesday. We've been recording on Tuesdays, but this week we thought we'd do Sunday night. So
so hopefully it's nothing too serious with his knee, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, preview of next week's games. We got TriCity's coming in. They're 9-5 right now.
Their token visit every 2 years here.
Yeah. So it's nice to see them. We don't get to see them a lot, but could be a tough game. Judging that division is always tough because we don't see them. We don't get to judge too much about opponents and whatnot, but they seem to be... That division's always strong.
Yeah,
so,
and like we talked about last week, they were all over 500.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's the start of their road trip, so they're not going to be all tired and road weary.
And their last 5 games have all been on the road, and they went 5-0 on that. I don't know if it was a single. I think it was more than one road trip, but they had the last 5 in a row, with 2 in PG going up there, winning both. That's tough road trip in itself, right there. So they're going to be coming in hot here.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. They're 10-4 now, actually. So I don't know. We'll see how that one goes.
Their goalie's doing pretty well. Beck Warm, 275 goals against and a 913 save percentage. So that looks pretty good. Their top 3 scorers, Nolan Riemko, Parker Coyne, and Isaac Johnson, they're kind of the 3 main guys to look out for in that game. So,
okay.
I know they had a really good team last year.
Yeah.
Michael Rasmussen was one of their best players, and he's 19, I believe, and Detroit ended up keeping him. They said they're going to keep him, so that's kind of a big loss for them.
They might have been expecting him back.
Yeah, I think as a 19-year-old, you're kind of like, well, but he's a big body, like he's a NHL size, like he's not an undersized guy like say a Steele or these other guys, right? So it's not too surprising. I know Detroit isn't doing very well, so you think, oh, well, you should send him back for more development, playing on a poor team, but they decided to keep him. So
okay, and then we have Swift Current coming in, and I don't know if Swift's a pushover anymore. They won 2 games this weekend, so they might have a bit of
2-game winning streak.
Yeah, they might have a bit of confidence brewing there, which we're not really that far ahead of them.
No, I know we aren't. And they beat Edmonton right after we played them, so that's good for them. That's good. Then they beat Lethbridge, which is supposed to be a decent team, right? They're kind of up and down, but they won that Bronco Strong night game, so maybe they had a little extra motivation that night.
Wearing those jerseys.
Yeah.
God, those were nice.
Real nice.
Good looking jerseys. Again, way out of.
Yeah, they all went for like $1,000.
Over $1,000. Yeah,
they raised $28,000 or something.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's good. Good fundraiser for Stars. So
totally. Their import guy, I can never remember his name.
Manulin? The one?
No, not Manulin. The other one, the Finnish guy.
Oh.
Probably one of their better players. He certainly stands out on that team.
Kiviniemi?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's it. So he's a guy to look out for on their team.
Yeah, him and Zawadzki. He looked really good in the game in Swift Current when we watched it.
Yeah, on TV. Yeah.
Yeah. So
2 good guys to look out for there. As you mentioned, Manulin, who played with them last year, their 20-year-old and an import, traded over to Everett.
Yeah, so is either Everett or Brandon kind of. They both had an import and
that's a unique spot.
Yeah,
unique player to fill two holes.
Yeah, so there wasn't going to be many suitors at all. No. So that's kind of good that he went over there instead of Brandon for us, I guess. So
yeah,
it's kind of same thing happened in Portland. San Jose sent back Joachim Blickfeld, and he's a 20 import. And it's like, oh, what are you going to do? You're going to keep him, or are you going to trade him, or whatever? But that's a tough trade. So I think they released one of their guys that they drafted, and man, he's ripping it up in Portland. He's doing so well.
Oh yeah.
And Portland doesn't usually trade guys away, good guys, anyways, right? They're always going for it. So it's not surprising. Him and Cody Glass are really doing well. So you got to have that kind of production as a 20 and an import. So
to warrant having them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, what do you think for this weekend? Split again?
Yeah, a minimum split. Like TriCity is going to be tough, but I think we can win against Swift Current again.
Yeah,
like that shouldn't. As long as we're not.
Can't take them lightly.
Exactly. All right, you just we beat them 7-1 last game. We can just cruise, right?
No.
As long as they take them seriously, we can win that one.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not on the fence this weekend.
No.
I'll say split for sure.
Okay,
right?
Good.
Maybe we can get an overtime loss, get some of these loser points. I hate the loser point, but...
Right. So we were talking before, we're looking at the standings, and I was like, we're only like 2 wins less than this last wild card spot. And I'm thinking, and then I looked at the points, but we're still a lot of points back, because when we lose, we lose.
Yeah, exactly.
we don't get the
close games.
Yeah, we don't get the 1 point for the...
Overtime.
We
haven't even been to shootout yet.
No. So anyway, around the league, a little bit of news. PA's retaining that number 1 CHL spot, so good for them. Again, I think they only have 1 loss, but they're like 17-1.
Yeah,
so they're still just rolling.
Brett Leeson there, he has a goal a game. He's just ripping it up.
Yeah, and I forget who tweeted it to us that. So he's Daryl Leeson's son.
Yeah,
right.
Regina Ram,
who played
star.
I don't know if he played with the Rams when it was CIS.
I looked it up. It was Regina Rams.
Yeah.
Then he went to the Dinos in Calgary for university. Then he came back and played for the UR as well after they converted from junior to university. So he played for both Rams.
Okay.
So,
and it's weird because I remember watching him play. So to him to have a son now, playing, it makes you feel old.
Yeah, exactly.
The funny thing is, so I guess there's like a full contact men's rec. It's not even rec, but football league. He plays in that.
Oh,
yeah.
I was
full like, can you imagine doing that and not getting paid and just going out there and destroying yourself?
Kind of like senior hockey, right?
I guess, yeah.
Some guys get paid, but most guys don't get paid to play that. Similar thing, but yeah,
so he's still
no
playing.
Idea. Well, I know one guy who plays rugby, so that's like, and he just does it rugby. Like he's not going for the Canadian national team or anything.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't do that. Couple more. We have 4 teams in the top 10. The dub is Vancouver number 6, Victoria number 7. Now I don't know. This weekend they lost 2 games to Portland, so I can see them falling off.
Dropping out.
And Red Deer actually got into the top 10.
Yeah, they've been kind of consistent this year.
Yeah,
they've looked all right. We haven't seen them yet personally, but
no. Yeah, and that's funny. Like even Saskatoon, this is our first game.
Yeah, against Saskatoon.
Yeah, and we haven't played Red Deer yet, so we only had 2 games this week. So we'll wrap this up. Just want to give a shout out to anyone that interacts with us on Twitter. That's really keeps us going. And I think what you guys could do for us is just mention the podcast to anyone you talk to about the Pats. The more listens we get, that really helps us out, keeps us going. Again, we don't make anything off this, anything that costs us money. So the more downloads we get really helps. So just get the word out. That's the one thing you could do for us. Just anyone you're talking about with the Pats, it's kind of a rough year, we know, but just mention.
Yeah, we didn't really have any expectations, but we've had some good weeks. We've had some not so good weeks. Just depends what people are up to and stuff. So we thought we'd send it out a little earlier this week, see if we can reach a few more people, keep this one kind of relevant a little longer. I know last week we were out a little later, so, but yeah.
Right on. Oh, big news for the game coming up. Is that on the Friday or Saturday, the Jersey draw? Saturdays. So that's going to be a draw for the Memorial Cup special jersey they wore on the Friday. I don't know what to call it. It doesn't really have a good name. It's kind of a cumbersome name, but
opening night jersey or whatever.
Yeah, those beautiful blue with the crest and
yeah.
So we don't know if it's players or not, or if it's just a blank. Because I know they had a blank at the store.
Yeah, they've probably had a few extras made, right? So
yeah. Anyways,
what it'll be. But
so
yeah, Saturday night.
That'll be
could be a
I might have to put a bid in on that one. That's a good one. That's a pretty rare jersey to find. So
yeah,
good. So anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that's about it.
Good. So let's wrap it up for the week, and we'll see you at the rink, guys.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Good night.
Now at the left point for the Pats, it's set off. Right point, Henry. Slap shot, scores! Oh, what a shot, Nick Henry! Top corner blocker side, and the Pats lead 6-5 with 4:12 left.